Monday installment of the program. Our Mondays, as you know, always brought to you by our friends at The Best Bet. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. Fighting a little bit of a cold. Almost over.
Oh, no.
It is not terrible. Just almost over it.
What day is this?
Good question.
Like day 5?
This is the cold?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, about that.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, hopefully tomorrow you'll be.
Yeah, I feel
He thought you were asking because he's been on
What day?
vacation.
I thought
Well, no, he was sick last week,
Yeah.
so I would have
Yeah.
caught it by now.
No,
No, I know. I asked that question knowing I was sick.
Yeah. And he asked me Friday, how was Friday? And here's what I will tell you guys.
Oh, I know it was bad.
On a Monday afternoon here on the First Coast. You know, sometimes changing your lifestyle, JJ, sometimes takes an adjustment period. I think I'm there. Okay, just in case you want to know the Friday.
Yeah, I'm
the
sure
Friday,
it
I
was-
think I'm there. There wasn't a real initiation
You
period
took
for
to
me.
it quick.
Yeah, I took to it. I was good. I was good on the not working Friday, JJ. In case you're
Was
wondering.
there any pool activity going on?
I didn't get in because
okay.
I'm a wimp when it's not.
But you were around the pool.
Oh, I laid by the pool about
Okay.
4.5 hours, including listen to the great. You guys did a great job on the radio show. Yeah,
Good.
here was my Friday. I woke up, slept into about 7:45. It was a little later than I usually wake up. Got up, 100% true story. Fed the dog, walked the dog, came back, took a nap. Okay, laid down, slept till
The American dream. Two naps.
I slept till 10 o'clock. I cannot tell you the last time. I don't think I was in college. It was probably after that. But I can't tell you the last time I was asleep and I woke up and the clock said 10 o'clock. I can't tell you the last time. And it was 10 o'clock. It felt fantastic. Went for about a 4-mile walk. Hung out by the pool. Okay, the only time I drove my truck all weekend was Saturday because our course was closed. So I drove the boys to another course. So it was great.
Well, luckily your team didn't blow an 8-run lead or anything like that to end the day.
And not only that, my team is so resilient. Okay, against the Cardinals earlier in the year, blew a 2-0 lead in the ninth, and then got swept 4 games. Okay,
It's not like they did that again.
right. Friday, you blow an 8-5, a 6-0 lead, 8-5 lead in the ninth. I didn't even need to watch the next 2 games. I knew
0 runs scored.
It didn't score a run. Did not
What?
blew an 8-5 lead in the ninth. And then it hadn't scored since. It's Monday. We haven't scored since. That was Friday. So
I warned you about the Phillies.
Yeah. You know, I didn't realize this.
Yeah, they're what, like 14-5 under Mattingly
They're
now?
15-4.
15-4
under on Downey baseball. So there you go.
Still 8 games back of the
Yes.
Braves.
But yeah, they're pathetic.
Yeah. A lot of things to talk about today. The PGA. By the way, did you guys enjoy your bonos? Have you had your bonos yet?
I'm saving it for dinner.
Okay, you.
I have not, but
Okay.
it looks delicious,
Smell
and
it.
certainly appreciate our friends at Bono's and our friend Mr. Frangie going to get us some
and
Bonos.
Tommy Fleetwood.
And Tommy Fleetwood.
For Ray at Bonos is the best. Thank you, Ray. For Bonos at Bowden Road is the sponsor of Loser Monday. And if you ever want a great lunch or a great dinner, go to Bonos at Bowden Road. All the Bonos are great. You know that. But our friend Ray, right up the road here, takes care of us. And he sponsors Loser Monday. We sure appreciate that. I was happy to go. You know why? Because sometimes in life, you're a dumbass, okay? You know, if I complained about a bad break, you know, when they froze out my guy or Morikawa plays 1 hole, but Rory was on the board.
Yeah.
Schauffele was on the board. But when you're the smartest guy in the room, you're smarter. I was the smartest guy. And when I'm
Guy who's won 0 majors. Tommy Fleetwood.
and he's using hybrids like I do, and he's got a bad mullet. But no, I'm smarter than all you guys. I'll just pick Tommy Fleetwood. You know, I'm surprised he made it to Friday. Okay, okay. So anyway, very. You guys deserve your bonos. I was happy to get it because I'm a dumbass. What a fun tournament! I did not know Aaron Rai lived here.
I didn't either.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I've only known him from being the 2 gloves guy.
He's the 2 gloves guy. We all knew he was a 2 glove guy.
By the way, is it like, can you get away with his nickname being the Strangler?
Yeah.
Because I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know what?
Hilarious.
Can I think through it
Yeah.
first? Okay, so but
Let's workshop that.
he wears 2. For people that don't know, most golfers wear a glove just on their offhand. He wears gloves on both hands, and that's how everybody knows him, and we all knew that. But he lives in Jacksonville, lives in the Jacksonville area, plays out of TPC Sawgrass. His wife's a pro golfer, too. I read all about it. So good. And apparently the nicest guy on tour. Every time they interviewed somebody. So what a great finish for
a magnificent
Yeah.
round of golf.
Particularly shot 31 on the back.
Yeah, I mean, he was, 6 under on his last 10 holes yesterday? Yeah. I mean, that's better than most guys did in
you shoot
entire tournament.
You shoot 31 on the last 9 holes.
Right, which was decidedly the harder 9.
No question.
This was not a very balanced course, Runnymede. It was a fun venue.
Yeah.
But the front was way easier than the back, and
he
was incredible.
And he was competing with 20 guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he held off one guy.
And never even flirted with a mistake.
No, and it was
never even flirted.
And by the way, that was what was going to win. When all those guys are lumped in there together with 9 to play, it's not like it's whichever guy doesn't mess up is usually going to win. And so, Rory made a good point. Rory McIlroy was asked afterwards. He said, "Listen, the 2 par 5s were very clear birdie holes. I mean, par 5s typically are. Didn't birdie either one of them and should have. Hit one. The one drive he was like 150 yards in one on a par 5, and he parred the hole.
And before yesterday, I was shocked. Even though I watched the whole tournament, I was shocked when they were like, he hasn't birdied 16, 17, or 18 the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Rory.
Yeah.
He was just terrible at the very end.
So, but a great win for Aaron Ryan. Certainly we'll talk about what they meant. Cam Smith played very well. He was better than I expected.
The live guys, you can tell, and Cam Smith's at the top of this list. Rahm close to. You can tell they're like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
this is getting ready to end, and I better take this seriously if I want to have a chance of getting back on the PGA Tour, without having to basically start totally from scratch.
Yeah, that's right. And you
like
you
the
could
Corn Ferry Tour. Like now they're like, you're not gonna make me do the Corn Ferry Tour.
Right.
You know, like I just finished second in the freaking PGA.
Correct.
So we'll certainly talk about that today in the program. All kind of stuff we'll get to. We talked about baseball a little bit. Did you see where the kind of went under the radar a little bit that the Rays finally are going to have a place to play in Tampa? Have you seen this story?
Mm-mm.
Did you see the story?
I actually didn't. No.
The Rays, the city of Tampa, and Hillsborough County have now signed a memorandum of understanding that they now have a general location in Tampa.
Good.
Right? It is good. It's a great franchise. Doesn't draw very well in St. Petersburg. It's an area called Drew Park, which is right next to the stadium. Is going to be right next to where Stein. Do you know Tampa very well, JJ? You've been there a time or two.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And Hayes, I know you've been there. If you know where Raymond James Stadium is, okay. If you've been to see the Bucks play, right across the highway is where Steinbrenner Field. It used to be Legends Field. That's where
West Tampa-ish.
Yeah, it's a little west of downtown. That's correct. But it's where it used to be Legends Field. It's where the Rays played last year. Well, it's almost on the Hillsborough Community College campus. It's on the Dale Mabry campus there, and they're literally going to build this stadium right on the campus. And I mean, when I went to a Rays game last year with the Pirates, we parked on the campus. So they're really going to build this stadium right there on the campus next to where, where Steinbrenner Field is.
It says 31,000 seats enclosed stadium, so it will have a roof.
And look, and wait to you see the renderings. The renderings are really cool. It's kind of a triangle roof. You'll see it as you read the story. Sort of a triangular covered roof. It's really cool looking. It's going to be kind of like the roof here, where you can kind of see through it. And that's kind of all the rage. And so I'll talk more about it in a minute, the significance of it. But yeah, that news broke over the weekend, which I think is good news. Urban Meyer's in the news, Hayes. Have you seen this story?
I did see this from Brett McMurphy at On 3. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that had to be the easiest case that arbitrator has ever had. I mean, if anybody ever deserved to get fired for cause, it was Urban Meyer with the Jaguars.
Yeah, Urban Meyer got fired for cause after pick your thing.
Right.
Not coming back with the team, the stuff of the bar, kicking Josh Lambo, whatever else.
Right.
And he sued the Jaguars, saying he shouldn't have been fired for cause. It took a while, but the arbitrator sided with the Jaguars. And according to all the news stories today, that he would have made, if he won the case, he would have had $30 million in the last 3 years of his contract. And now he didn't get that, so I don't know what he was paid, but he wasn't paid that. So I got a thought about that. We're going to get to that. It brings Urban Meyer into the news, and I'm going to talk about Urban Meyer for a second today. It's coming up on the program today, so we'll certainly talk about that. College baseball, the Gators are red hot. I don't know if you saw this or not. Baseball America has them as now D1 is the more prominent one. the Baseball America has them as 9th in the country now. They just swept LSU. They finished 18-12 in the league. They got them 9th in the country. The top 8 get super regionals. If the top 16 get regionals, and then the top 8, if they win their regional, get a super regional. I'll be interested to see if they run through the tournament in Hoover. If they win a couple games, can they sneak into that 8 spot? By the way, there's 25 teams in the top 25, obviously. 10 are SEC teams.
Wow. That's every sport now.
10 are.
I mean, it used to be sort of a baseball, softball thing. Now it's every sport.
But it's interesting. It is every sport. But the ACC last year was just as prominent. The ACC really fell off because Miami is not in there. NC State's not in there. Clemson's not in there. Those are 3 really good programs. Wake Forest, who's had a great program, all fell off. So there's only 3 ACC. We'll talk about that. So we'll talk some college baseball later.
Is it a lot of Big Ten?
There's 3 Big Tens.
Okay, but they normally struggle in baseball.
There's 4.
They can't even play.
But there's 4 Big Tens. But you know who they are? UCLA, USC,
West Coast,
West Coast, Oregon, and I think Nebraska's in it. But it's an interesting story. So we'll get to that coming up. Speaking of college baseball, UNF has a great chance now. UNF is the number 1 seed in the Atlantic Sun. The way the Ace Sun works is you've got to, if you don't get one of those buys, you've got to win 2 single elimination games before you even get to the double elimination tournament, which is hard. That's tough ball there now, man. And so there's 2 single elimination games before you get to the double elimination tournament. UNF, JU's the number 5 overall. So JU's got to win a couple games to get to a UNF game. But UNF is well positioned, and they've certainly earned that. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today on the program. Mike Bianchi had a really interesting column on John Sumrall and Lane Kiffin. We'll get to that. A lot of stuff to do on the program today. Glad you are with us on 1010XL. I got a thought or two about the whole Urban Meyer thing. That's next. That's how we'll kick off the program on 1010XL at 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I'm Brett Musburger on the heartbeat of the First Coast, 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey inviting you to celebrate America 250 with huge savings at the Employee Pricing Sales Event only at Big Number 1 Duval Ford. Right now, you pay what the employees pay on select new Ford trucks and SUVs. Drive off in a new F-150, a versatile Escape, or a family-ready Explorer, all with unbeatable savings and great financing. But don't wait. This red, white, and blue sales event is for a limited time only at the Big Number 1 Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue. Duval Ford, proud to drive America forward.
In a world where chains seem to take over, it's awesome to have a locally owned retailer who's only focused on us here in Jacksonville. Hicken here for my friends at Beard's Diamonds. All those jewelers in the town center, they're owned by big Wall Street companies, except one. Beard's Diamonds. Beard's Diamonds is local. Say hi to the Lupos. They've been serving our area for over 4 decades. Beard's has a massive diamond inventory, all shapes and sizes. Top bridal brands like Decory and Viraggio. Beard's has the strongest warranties. Beard's wins on price every day. They don't have extra markups to please Wall Street or pay commission salespeople. In fact, Beard's guarantees to beat any national chain store on price. So don't buy anywhere until you get a second opinion at Beard's. You'll get a bigger, better quality diamond for your money, and it'll be backed by local folks with integrity and local accountability. It's refreshing to see a local place that can give you a better selection, higher quality, superior personalized service, and a much better price. Don't buy a diamond in Jacksonville without seeing your best option at Beard's Diamonds. I say shop local, shop Beard's at the St. John's Town Center.
Get out of the city and into the woods and the water.
I keep on working it.
On the Nimnicht Outdoors Show, Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk join Jeff Lageman.
I am shooting one today.
Get hooked Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey, Hickett here. Spring and summer air should feel fresh, not full of dust, allergens, and whatever winter left behind in your vents. Your air ducts, they're the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, you're breathing it every day. That's where Zero Res comes in, backed by more than thousands of Google reviews and a 4.9 rating. This month only, take 25% off all services, including your air ducts. That's cleaner air, better efficiency, and a fresher home guaranteed. Call 904-287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and mention the 1010XL special.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. Nobody has a better time for you. The best this week at the Best Bet, by the way. Don't miss the $100 satellites into the Stars and Stripes $200,000 guarantee. Now that's at Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road, but there's three great locations. Best Bet Orange Park is on US 17, and Best Bet St. Augustine just off of I-95. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, JJ LaSalva with you. Let's kick off the program like we always do with the Big Chief, big thing of the day, Big Chief Tire. Now, they've done it around here for 60 years, and they've got all your automotive needs. Big Chief Tire, 6 locations in town. Online, you can see them at WeKeepJacksRolling.com. I was in there last week. If you want someone you can trust with your automobile to keep it rolling, you want Big Chief Tire. The big thing of the day is the Urban Meyer news, I think, around here. Urban Meyer, if you haven't followed the story or not, he's fired by the Jaguars after 13 games. The Jags fired him with cause. Urban sued, went to an arbitrator saying he shouldn't have been fired with cause. He had a roughly $30 million or north of that left on his contract. The Jags said it was with cause. An arbitrator ruled, according to Brett McMurphy from On3, Hayes, excuse me, that an arbitrator ruled that Urban was okay to fire him with cause. So he lost the case. So he lost a potential $30 million from the Jaguars. Big win for the Jags. Loss for Urban. I think those of us around here that followed the story, of course it was with cause. There was enough stories out there. It was a bad fit from day one. Shad Khan, to his credit, figured that out pretty early on, 13 games in, 2-11 later, fired Urban Meyer. I got a lot I want to get to with Urban, but first things first, what did you make of that story?
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. It was going to always be, in my opinion, very easy for the Jaguars in this case. And before you even get to the kicking of Josh Lambo accusation, the fact that Urban Meyer did not fly back with the team from Cincinnati, the Jaguars, I'm sure, were able to pour over all the data of all the road games that have been played in the NFL since that fateful night in Cincinnati and prove to the arbiter, look, this is him abandoning his job. This is an abdication of his responsibility. I can think of really only one instance. I think John Harbaugh didn't fly back with the Ravens after, I think he lost his dad, something to that effect. But barring a massive, immediate family emergency, you just don't do it. You just don't just say, I'm not going to fly back with the team. And we talked about it then, what a terrible mistake it was for him to make then. And to me, you now have several years of data, if you're the Jaguars, where you can say there have been X thousand number of flights in the NFL that have taken place since this incident. How many times did the head coach not fly back with the team? I mean, to me right there, if you're the arbiter, I mean, he has clearly abandoned his job responsibility. And then obviously to have the other things that took place.
Well, but let me stay on that. The issue you're talking about was then exacerbated by what he did when he didn't come back. You know, to your point, if a family member had been ill and he had stayed to take care of an ill family member,
then everybody would understand.
Well, of course. So I think so. It's not just not flying back is the main story, but then
he's getting all handsy in a bar.
Yeah, right. He clowned around and went to a bar.
Right.
So continue. But I mean that's the second part of that story.
I always felt like he had no case, that it was going to be pretty clear that the Jaguars were well in their right to fire him with cause, that there were elements of his job that he abandoned, which to only be on the job for 11 months and have this many examples as well, probably made it pretty easy as well. But the data had to just be so against him because his behavior was so atypical for a normal, rational, reasonable NFL head coach. He didn't conduct himself that way from day one.
So that story ends the way I think we all think it should have. I don't think the Jags should have had to pay that money. I think he should have been fired with cause. I don't think there's anybody around here that would disagree with that. All right. So that story, and it puts the bow on an abject failure of Urban Meyer as an NFL coach. He was 2-11 and mocked around the league and whatnot. So that puts a bow on that. And by the way, nobody disagreed. Nobody thought he got a bad break. Nobody thought he got tough luck. The reality was it was a bad fit from day one. And good for the Jags. They won a case that they should have won. They won a case that I don't know anybody that I know would disagree with that. So I go back to Urban Meyer. How is Urban Meyer remembered? See, Florida fans had no interest in Urban Meyer after he left for Ohio State. He was persona non grata in Gainesville. Now, he lives in Sarasota. He had a home in Sarasota, and I think he lives in Columbus and Sarasota, but I think he spends probably more time in Sarasota. And I'm talking out of turn. I don't really know that, but I think that's the case. So I think he spends most of his time there. So slowly but surely, he has worked really hard to get back in the graces of Gator fans. Jaguar fans will never care. I mean, it was 13 games. But he's worked really, really hard to get back in the graces of Gator fans. And I think he has Gator Nation is not anti-Urban anymore. Scott Strickland named him when he was doing the search. He was in the ring. Is he in the Ring of Honor?
No, but he will be.
He's going to go in the ring, and he and Spurrier, you see him together at functions, and so he was at the concert over the weekend. He has become. Gator fans have forgiven him, okay, and he's now looked at as the guy who won the 2 titles there, not as the guy that all the bad stuff happened afterwards. So I got more. There's more layers to this conversation. But how is Urban Meyer remembered? I mean, and by the way, he's only 61. Will he coach again? He obviously won't coach in the NFL again. Will he? I mean, again, 61 today. 25 years ago, that was an old coach. It's not an old coach today. Curt Cignetti's older than him. Okay?
Right.
And so,
don't you think he's a little like Tiger Woods in that he's 61, but it feels like his body is 81?
Yeah. Well, that's what. Yes, I do. I agree. But tell me about how Urban's remembered. What Urban's going to do. How do you see this whole Urban Meyer, the final chapter or chapters of the story?
I think it just depends on your perspective as a fan. Do you pay more attention to the NFL or do you pay more attention to college football? I mean, he's a college football coaching god.
I mean, unbelievable.
He won over 85% of his games.
He was 187-32.
Yeah,
which is almost incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible, particularly since he did have Bowling Green in Utah on his resume before he even got to a Ferrari job like Florida or Ohio State, and so. From a college perspective, I mean, he's right for his generation. I mean, he's certainly on the Mount Rushmore of college coaches of his generation. It's Saban leads the pack, but Urban's got to have one of those other 3 spots. With national championships at 2 different places and 2 at Florida. So, but in the NFL, he's always going to be a laughing stock. It wasn't just that he was bad. There's been a lot of coaches that were bad NFL coaches. It's the fact that, particularly for us, like nationally, people probably don't remember that he didn't know who Joe Mixon plays for. Nationally, they probably really don't remember that he thought it was a good idea to have Gardner Minshew and Trevor Lawrence trade out QB1 reps for an entire training camp to only then trade Gardner Minshew and let Trevor Lawrence and the complete team be completely ill-prepared for the opener in Houston that year, which just set off a chain of events that they could never recover from. So I think it's really just, what do you pay attention to?
All right, so let me take it a step further. You're a sports fan in Peoria, okay? Do you think...
You think college, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, so from a black and white standpoint, yeah, his college career was amazingly successful. 187-32, 3 national championships, amazingly successul. His NFL career was a disaster. But like you said, so was John McKay's. So was a lot of other great college coaches. Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl, but had nothing to do with it.
I mean, look, Nick Saban wasn't an embarrassment, but he was like Urban Meyer.
But he wasn't very good.
But he wasn't great.
Steve Spurrier wasn't very good. There's a lot of those. So, but it feels like there's more to it with Urban than that. It feels like there's more to it with Urban than great at college, bad at the NFL. Some people think he's the worst guy in the world. Some people say, no, he's misunderstood. If you knew him, he's actually a pretty good guy. He's on TV. I don't know how to feel about him on TV. He's okay. How do you see what I'm saying, Taze? I wonder where people are as far as success as a coach, as good as you can get in college, as bad as you can get in the NFL. That golf couldn't be any bigger. We all get that. But I don't know. Do Gator fans love him again? Do they tolerate him again? Have they gone from he's a traitor, shame on him, to, well, now he's one of us again? Because he desperately wants that. You can see he's in Gainesville every time you turn around. How does the world feel about Urban Meyer? Does that question make sense? Because there's so many layers to it.
There really are, because I don't know that I've ever had people tell me more stories.
Yes.
Either people that were in Gainesville or here that tell you stories about Urban Meyer that are just hard to believe, that he could be that disconnected and that lacking of a curiosity in others, and quite abrasive at times. So I think from a personal standpoint, for people that worked with him or covered him, things like that, I don't think his reputation is overly positive. If you're a fan, if you're a Gator fan, I think all is forgiven. I never bought into that he was a traitor, that he went to Ohio State. He could not have predicted that he was going to leave Florida and Jim Tressel's career was going to unravel in a scandal. It looked like Jim Tressel was going to coach Ohio State for another decade, at a minimum.
Yeah, you would. I agree.
So it's not like he left Florida.
Yeah, we actually would have expected Notre Dame more than Ohio State. I agree with you.
So I mean, I never bought into. I always thought it was interesting that, and this is a lot of Gator fans. It was almost like they viewed it as he resigned from Florida and 2 days later took the Ohio State job. Could not have been further from the truth. Now, where I think Florida fans do have a gripe, and time heals all wounds, so I think this can be forgiven now in light of the amazing success he had and how bad the program's been post Urban Meyer. But he admitted that he didn't give it his all his last year with Florida, which is just inexcusable when you're making millions and millions and millions of dollars to coach. So that always bothered me, that he admitted at the end, he quit, came back, because they weren't going to go stay in-house for his successor. So he kind of, was like, well, I want to protect my guys, so I'm going to come back even though my heart's not into it. And then admitted when it went really wrong, really bad for what he had produced for Florida. He was like, I don't know that we really gave it our all this year. How can you say that? I mean, how can you possibly say that and expect fans to ever fully forgive it? I think, again, 15, 16 years have passed. So I now think Florida fans, in light of the lack of success too, really look back on those. It was a short window, but it was such a fun window because Urban Meyer was like Spurrier. He didn't just beat teams. I mean, he embarrassed good teams.
Right.
I mean, calling timeouts in the Georgia route, that year, both those teams are in the top 10.
Right.
And he's calling timeouts up, whatever it was, 38 points, because to get revenge on Georgia. I mean, you couldn't draw that up any better if you're a Gator fan.
Steve Spurrier, who's beloved by all Gators, was also connected to one of the most beloved Gators of all time in Danny Werfel, and pretty close to one of the most beloved Gators of all time in Shane Matthews, connected to both of those. Urban, some people say, is not beloved, yet is connected to possibly the most beloved Gator in Tim Tebow, and they're very close. They lived close together when they were here, and so I'm just some personal experience, and I you know me, Hayes. I'm not ever going to tell someone's a bad guy. This is not my style, and I don't know that Urban's not a good guy. I really don't know. I will tell you just personal experience, and this isn't a shot at him. It's my honest opinion. He's one of the few coaches in my career that I covered a lot, or in the case called his games here, that I never could connect with. It's weird, isn't it? And I don't, and that may be my fault, not his. But obviously every Jaguar head coach, and there's been a few in the 14 years I've done this, 13 years, I've really connected with. I've including Liam Cohen, that I've had a real close connection with. I was closest to Gus Bradley and Doug Peterson. I feel I will be with Liam too, because he's such a good dude. Got closer to Doug Marrone, but had a good relationship. Now again, Urban was only here 13 games, but even when he was at Florida, even when I see him at SEC Media Days, sometimes you just don't connect with a guy, and that's not his fault. It's just the way it was. But I never could get my head around what he was. Does that mean I could never get my head around who he was? Great college. Again, 187 and 32 speaks for itself. 3 national championships speak for itself. 2-11 also speaks for itself. And ignominiously shown the door speaks for itself. As I look back at Urban Meyer, I don't know what to think of who he is. I was, and it's not just Jaguar or Gator coaches. I was really close with Bobby Bowden. We got to be friends, and we laughed and joked. I knew Vince Dooley. I was too young enough to not be buddies with him, but he'd call me by name, and I got to know him pretty well. Obviously, Ron Zook's one of my closest friends. I got to be pretty close with Muschamp. I didn't know Jim McElwain very well, but you know what I mean. The point, or Dan Mullen very well. But for
you should have gone deep sea fishing with him.
I guess I should have. But I never quite knew what to think of who Urban Meyer was. And when this story, I think, puts a cap on it, I don't think he'll coach again, but I'm not convinced of that. I just don't know where it would be. Because most of the jobs are too small for him for what he was. He obviously not coaching the NFL again. Obviously, he's
not taking the Georgia Tech job.
Correct. That you said. And
then you'd think those bigger programs that you would think he thinks he belongs in, probably he's been out of the game too long, and they wouldn't hire him.
That's part of it, and there's something there that I think would keep them from hiring him.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not.
It's also a totally different sport.
Well,
yeah. College football is a totally different sport
and a different kid. Hey, and not different sport on how they play on the field. Different sport on how you have to recruit players and how you have to pay players, and the world's different. So is the Urban, I thought about this as preparing the show today. As the Urban Meyer thing comes to a close with the Jags, good for the Jags. They should have won that case. They were right. He was wrong. I'm glad it ended the way it did. But as I look back at what Urban Meyer is still on TV, I'm just still not quite sure what people think of him. It's an interesting story to say the very least.
And I think the fans in Jacksonville are the most conflicted over it, because there are a lot of Gator fans that are also Jaguar fans.
Right,
and
that's
so
right.
This is the epicenter of the Urban Meyer paradox, is Jacksonville, Florida. Because I think as you expand away from Jacksonville, very few people care at all about the disastrous NFL tenure, and more people see him for being one of the best that's ever walked a college football sideline.
We'll take a break. We'll talk some golf after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Well, it's earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Now, look, I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. That is a true story. I started in 1982 buying my cars from Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul. He taught me how to buy a car, and I've been doing it ever since. I trust my friends at Nimnick. They care about the community. They care about their customers. They do it right. They've supported our charity, Walk Off Charity, so many times. I really do appreciate them. If you want to buy a car, you want to be treated right, not just when you buy the car, but after the sale as well. Well, that's what they do. They care about their customers. They care about this community. and they care about treating you right. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? That answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Visit their showroom off Cassett or go to nimnikchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, Meta the first basket, free throw, piece.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL. Served by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Prosser here. When I'm doing home improvements, I like to deal with a local company, and I found one for windows and doors, Cash Building Material. They've been doing business in Jacksonville for 70 years, and with their experienced window and door specialists, you'll get no subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. Get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Materials. Windows and doors done right.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Looking for a real career with great pay and full benefits? Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. As a growing, family-owned company that cares about its employees, they're hiring lawn technicians in the Jacksonville area. No experience required. This is a salaried position with top industry pay. Full benefits, a 401k match, and paid training. Apply today at JulingtonCreekPestControl.com. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools and alerts to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Speaking of the best bet, flights A through F of the Stars and Stripes tournament plays out this weekend, May 22nd through May 24th at Best Bet Jacksonville, right there on Monument Road. 3 great locations. That's one of them. Best Bet Orange Park is on US 17, and Best Bet St. Augustine just across from I-95. Frangie, Carline, and La Selva with you. So Aaron Rai wins the PGA. What else did you take away from that? Obviously, Cameron Young, very good early on. Cam Smith, you made a good point. Maybe the Liv guys both reared their head. John Rahm played very well. There were still some no names in there, some other no names or other guys you didn't know as well.
Alex Smalley,
who led going into the final round. So, what would your from 10,000 feet? What was your big picture thought of the PGA?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is it did feel like we were due for a nondescript major champion. We have had and if you include the players in that as well. I mean, obviously you've got Cameron Young, Scotty Scheffler twice, Rory McIlroy. I mean, so when you look at the 5 majors, it's been really a who's who other than like J.J. Spawn last year at the U.S. Open, and even Spawn was trending pretty well.
And he went to the playoff in the in the players.
Correct. So there you were seeing signs of it. Rye was like 108th in the FedEx Cup points before winning the PGA. He's now 24. So I'd say in general, golf, this is the kind of sport golf is. If you're top 100 in the world, you are still absolutely capable of, if you get hot, taking apart any course in the country. It's just been a while since we've seen it happen. But yeah, I think the big takeaway for me was the live stars that are starting, I think, to be like, uh-oh, you mean the gravy train is coming to an end and I'm actually going to have to work at my craft now? Because Cam Smith looked like a totally different player. Cam Smith had an excellent chance to win, and he had missed the cut, I want to say, in the
6
last
straight.
Yeah, I mean, it'd been absurdly long since he'd even made a cut at a major. Rahm coming off the Masters wasn't as big of a surprise. He was the third betting favorite going into the PGA, so for him to play well wasn't a surprise. I do think he has slimmed down a lot. When I saw him at the Masters, and obviously he cost me the Loser Monday bet. He made the cut, but was like T38. But when I saw him that week, I was shocked at how much weight he'd put on. He's always been kind of a husky guy.
Right.
But, fast forward now to the PGA, a month later, it looked like he dropped like 10, 15 pounds, which I do think helped him. So I would say that Justin Thomas, it looked like you were going to see one of the all-time great post a number and have it work your way. Because I thought for a good hour and a half that 5 under might at least get him in a playoff. I certainly didn't think he was going to be, that somebody was going to be 4 shots ahead of him. So good to see Justin Thomas finding form. The next big test for Ludwig Åberg is being able to be a little bit more consistent on Sunday. He shot a 69, which isn't terrible. He was 1 under. But obviously, to go win a major, usually you're going to have to be pretty brilliant. JT shot a 65. Rye shot 65. So I do think Ludwig is getting very close to winning probably multiple majors in a very short, maybe. I think if you told me right now Ludwig Åberg's going to win 2 of the next 10 majors, including the players in that, that would not surprise me.
Well, you mentioned the live guys. Here's what I took out of the live guys thing. Yeah, maybe you're right that, okay, we better buckle down now because we're not going to have live anymore. But the fact that they can, the fact that Cam Smith, who was not a factor, all of a sudden
can still putt,
a great putter and great player, because in large part because of the putting. Cam Smith almost won the damn tournament. I'm thinking, my goodness, John Rahm didn't surprise me, but just the fact that those guys can dial it up like that. I'm not sure Brooks Koepka can dial it up like that anymore. DeChambeau, I don't know what to think, but the fact that those guys can dial it up, I think that. And then I think the other story is the same old boring one, I suppose, that we never, and I'm telling you, growing up as a little kid watching golf with his dad, it just wasn't like that. Growing up, Nicklaus or Palmer or Watson or Trevino or one of those guys were going to win. Okay, there was about 7 or 8 of them, and one of them were going to win, and that was it. There are so freaking many guys here that are so great because of the junior golf, and it's amazing how many of them. Good luck on Loser Monday. Who knows which one of us are hot or taking our ass to Bonos next time?
There was like 15 guys going into Sunday that I was like, they could win this.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's where we are.
I've never remembered a tournament that bunched up like that. I thought it was phenomenal television, even though we didn't have the ending that you would expect. We didn't have like a playoff or whatever on the 18th hole, but like Saturday and Sunday combined up until the last few holes was phenomenal for me.
Totally agree. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, in every era in the past, there have been 8 to 12 guys who could win. Now, 40 years ago, it might have been 4 to 6 guys, right? Mm-hmm. But there was a number, a concrete number of guys, finite number that could win. I'm telling you, Aaron Rye won a major yesterday. If you and I, the 3 of us, had started listing 30, 40 players that might win the PGA, none of us would have gotten to him.
No.
And he won them. He won it. And I think that's kind of where
Convincingly,
yeah. So and by the way, it's great for golf. I used to think it wasn't. You needed the stars. It is great now.
Every so often, it's fine.
You can't have an Aaron Rye win every single major.
Right. You don't want to look up at Shinnecock and Alex Smalley has won the U.S.
I was
Open.
about to say, I think the difference between Smalley winning and Rye is big, honestly. Like, Rye has at least won things. We all know who he was. He's in all the majors.
Right.
Smalley is a different story completely. This guy had never won any tournament as a professional. He's like 30 years old. He's not going to win anything. I was like really happy he didn't win. Unfortunately, I was cheering against Alex Smalley all day.
And you had Matty Schmidt up
there.
Right.
And
it
those
was like,
yeah. And for a while, I mean, it really did. It was amazing. So a lot of good golfers. That's the story for today.
What do you guys think about Scotty? Because he finished at 2 under. I mean, they did a great job of showing this either in CBS's footage or the Golf Channel. I don't know that I've ever seen a player miss more putts inside of 10 feet.
So many.
I mean, now I think the fact that Rye got to 9 made it a little bit, but if Rye had stayed and won it like 6, I mean, Scotty Scheffler would be he might still be physically ill today when he reflects back on it, because that tournament was right there
all weekend.
For him.
He was
and he's not the only guy like that. Rory McIlroy did not take advantage of the par 5s. That never happens. And obviously he finished T7 at 4 under. So if he does a better job with the par 5s, could have been a different story. But Scotty Scheffler could not buy a putt.
Well, and look, that was the bugaboo before he got great.
Yeah.
Was could he putt? And we'll see if it's back. We'll take a break. Headlines are next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The roar of the crowd. The theater of your mind.
Breaking free, they're not going to catch him.
It comes alive in your ears.
Showtime.
Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio. 1010 XL.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. When you buy tires, you should get more than just tires. You should get value that lasts. Well, at Big Chief Tire, every tire purchase comes with their Extra Mile program. That means $10 off every oil change, free tire rotations, free tire repairs, and more every time you visit. No points, no gimmicks, just real savings from a local shop you can trust. Call 904-932-0950 or visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com. That's how you take care of your car the right way.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
If you can't wait for kickoff, tip-off, or the first pitch, get your Gator fix anytime with a Gator podcast channel. Exclusive Florida Gator content from 1010XL. Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Here's good advice from your friends here at 1010XL. I'm Frank Frangie. The next time you need to send a gift for a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or just for the fun of it, call the experts at Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers does it right.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there.
Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked.
So what do we do?
How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bed?
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia from Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, his adorable chessman sidekick.
There are 2 things you want to ask when getting a custom polymer garage floor coating. Will it be done right, and will it be priced right?
And just how charming is their mascot?
No. At Checkmate, our small specialized install teams follow a strict 29-point installation checklist
to ensure the highest quality results at a price you can afford.
A Checkmate polyaspartic floor can be customized in dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear your shoes in the garage to avoid tracking dirt back into the house.
The quality you expect?
Check. A price that might surprise you.
Check. A floor you just can't wait to show your friends? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
Sporting Jacks is hosting its first ever home playoff match in year one. The women take center stage in a Gainbridge Super League semifinal at Hodges Stadium on Sunday, May 24th at 5 p.m. We're bringing playoff soccer straight to Jacksonville. This isn't just a match. It's a moment in city history you won't want to miss. Tickets start at $25. Get yours at sportingjacks.com or call 904-863-KICK. Sporting Jacks. Pro soccer. Pro Jacks.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frangie and JJ LaSelva. I'm Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Frank, we've touched on this, but let's start with the Jaguars for those who may have missed it. Urban Meyer loses his grievance against the Jaguars, saving Shad Khan and the organization $30 million as an arbitrator agrees with the Jaguars that Meyer should have been fired for cause.
Yeah, there were too many things. There was a not flying back with the team, the point you made, what happened when he didn't fly back with the team, and he embarrassed the team because the memes were everywhere. I think there's behavior not becoming, whatever the phraseology is. And then, of course, the Lambeau stuff. And if you read the story that Brett McMurphy wrote today, Hayes, it talked about the arbitrator did an awful lot of interviews, talked to a lot of people, and it mentioned a lot of the special teams players. And I'm sure there were others that Brett didn't know about. So, I think they got it right. I don't think the Jags should have had to pay him more than they did, and good for the Jags. I think that was a win for the good guys. I'm not trying to slam Urban Meyer, but he absolutely should have been fired for cause.
Let's get it to this incarnation of the Jaguars. Let's talk about defensive tackle Eric Armstead. He was on Good Morning Football today and was asked to reveal something unknown about Liam Cohen.
Yeah, well, I think I would say hardship, has really been a big part of his journey and story. He lost his mother at an early age. Some people may know that, but I think, that changes you and it hardens you and creates a certain type of resilience in you. And everything that him and his family has gone through, his dad, being there with him and then being able to come up the football ranks together, being coached by his dad. And his dad has a huge presence in our building as well, too, now. So I think that family orientation, his life experiences and hardships, I think make him the person that he is and, make him the leader and the man that he is, which we all need in our building. So it's been a pleasure working with him and being coached by him thus far. And, I'm excited to continue this journey.
That's a really good take on Liam. He did lose his mom early. He's very close to his father, who's also a football coach, and he's a fantastic leader, really, really respected in that building, and I think Eric Armstead said it very well.
Yes, I agree. Let's get it to around the NFL. Aaron Rodgers going back to the Steelers for another season. Anything left in the future first ballot Hall of Famer?
I didn't think there was last year.
I didn't either.
And now he's a year older. Now part of it was they had lousy receivers, but I didn't think. Watching him, I told you this before. Even watching him against the Jets watching him play for the Jets against the Jags the year before, I didn't think he was very good. He threw a bunch of touchdowns because the Jags decided not to cover Devontae Adams. But I didn't think there was much there then. I didn't think there was much there last year, and I don't think there's much there this year. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but the times I watched him play in these last 2 or 3 years, It doesn't look like because Aaron Rodgers was a great player. Aaron Rodgers was
one of the best ever do it.
He's a great player, but he's a shadow of that. It's not like Tom Brady, who even in his 40s kind of looked like Tom Brady. It's not like that.
No, it is not. Let's get it to college football. The Gators All Access show is tonight at 7 on SEC Network. This is the show that, talks about spring football. They'll show highlights from the spring game. So SEC Network tonight for Florida football fans out there.
I'm going to touch on that when I touch on the Mike Bianchi column. I'm going to lead the next segment with that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to watch the heck out of that thing. I'm a big Gator fan, and I'm excited about the Summerall era, I think. And so, I'll watch the heck. I'm glad you brought it up. I'll absolutely be locked in.
Let's get to the PGA Championship. Aaron Rai, masterful to win his first major. The 31-year-old Englishman was 9 under, winning by 3 shots, and played his final 10 holes at 6 under. If a Scheffler, a Rory, a Rahm, if one of these stars had done this, we'd have considered it one of the greatest back nines that we've ever witnessed. Because remember, he eagles 9 and then does not make a bogey on the back at a Runneming, which is unheard of. Unbelievable performance for a guy that most of us had no idea who he was going into the PGA Championship.
He's on 17, I think it is, 68 feet from the cup. And I'm thinking, okay, this is probably a 3-putt.
Right.
Okay, so when he probably 3-putts now.
And Rahm had just birdied.
Right.
So you're like, this could get really close.
So here comes the 3-putt that's going to end the dream. He made it. It was a 68-footer.
And it was like the undulation on that green
incredible.
was crazy.
And how he read that.
And I thought,
and the pace.
And I thought, okay, but didn't you think 3-putt?
Absolutely.
I'm thinking this is a 3-putt.
I kept waiting for him to totally fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I was literally waiting for double bogey,
I'm watching,
bogey, double bogey for him to finish.
I'm watching. I'm thinking, okay, if you're clutch here, you find a way to 2-putt this thing. If you're clutch, if not, you're young. He made it.
How about his celebration?
Yeah,
he barely even. He had to remind himself.
It was a little fist pump.
Hey, maybe you should show some emotion here.
He really did.
Let's get it to our Loser Monday update. JJ's pick, Ludwig Oberg, with a splendid performance to finish tied for 4th at 5 under. My selection, Cameron Young, not great, but solid enough to finish T26 at even par. And Frank's choice of Tommy Fleetwood fails him as Fleetwood missed the cut for the first time in 11 months.
He hasn't missed a cut in a year.
I didn't realize
he hadn't missed a cut.
Hadn't missed a cut since last year's USA.
I honestly thought it was the safest pick I could have made.
Right.
But I'll say what I said earlier. McIlroy was there, Schauffele was there, and smartest guy in the room went and picked it. But I honestly thought it was the safest. I thought
we talked about the high floor.
Yeah, right. I thought
he's going to finish. Right. At worst, he's going to finish T12.
Of course.
Right.
It's just, until I freaking pick him. Okay. Until then. So anyway, I was happy to go get you guys. Barbara.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. Let's get it to the NBA. The Cavs throttle the Pistons in Detroit, 125-94 to win Game 7. Just a pathetic effort from the Pistons. I don't know. I watched the game. I don't know that I've ever seen an NBA team at home in a Game 7 just basically say, why don't you just go dunk the basketball?
And
I mean, when they've got to have stops. Yeah. The Cavs played well. At one point, they were shooting 57% from the field. I think they finished the game around 51%. But Detroit, it was like Olay the whole game. Just dunk the ball.
For someone that doesn't follow this incarnation of the NBA very closely, it was clear in the Orlando series they weren't that good.
Oh yeah, they should. They would have lost if Wagner probably didn't get hurt.
They probably should have. So the Knicks beat the Cavs.
No, the Knicks play the Cavs.
No. I know
do
that.
they?
Thank you. Did the Knicks beat the Cavs?
I originally, last week, I was all in on whoever wins this is going to lose to the Knicks, but I think this is going to be a hell of a matchup. The Cavs are playing so good right now. Donovan Mitchell's at the height of his career, I feel like, and Harden's still respectable. So I'm going to say the Knicks in 7.
What about it? Knicks beat the Cavs?
I think they do. I'll say Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are going to beat the Cavs. I'll say 6 too.
Okay. Thunder and Spurs is tonight for the Western Conference Finals. That's an 8:30 start on NBC. By the way, I didn't realize Amazon Prime was going to have half the playoffs because it's so frustrating. You're going through, it's like, where's the NBA game?
Bro.
And then it clicks. It's like, oh, it's on Prime.
The other night, I went through 3 apps before I figured out what game it was on.
And this is not a sports topic, but my wife likes Country Music Awards, the ACM Awards. Did you know they were on Amazon Prime last? They weren't even on.
I did
not. The ACM Country Music Awards with all the megastars there, a 3-hour show in Vegas, glitz and glamour. She couldn't find it. And she said, I love watching. I know I see it on social. I mean, I see it on social media. I see it was on Amazon Prime. Wow. So they're taking over the world.
They really are.
Okay. Our radio shows by next week are going to all be on Amazon Prime.
I'll gladly sell my life for Amazon Prime.
Oklahoma City is a 6.5-point favorite tonight. So this does feel like it could be competitive. What do you guys think about Thunder Spurs?
And I think the Thunder's going to win. And I think this. I think this is a no-duh comment. But I do believe now if they win and they win the title, which I think they're going to, we are now going to start talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the next great player. He's back-to-back MVPs. It doesn't look like this thing's stopping anytime soon. We kept waiting for the next, and one guy almost was, and Giannis almost was, and Jokic. I think we're going to start talking about this because you got to win titles, to be that guy. So I think the Thunder win this series and the next.
Yeah, if they win the title, I mean, he's already, for most people, cemented as the best player in the NBA right now above Jokic. But if he does that, there's no question. But this also could be Wemby's coming out party.
Yeah.
This could be when everyone's like, oh, actually, the 7'7" guy's the best player in the world. And I'm like so pumped for this matchup. I don't necessarily think it's going to be like every single game is going to be close, all 7 games. But this is the best we got in the NBA right now. So I'm pretty pumped.
I think it decides the title.
Oh, yeah. Whoever wins this wins the NBA championship.
I tell you what, between the Gator special and this game, I got to tell my wife we may not watch a Hallmark movie tonight. Okay. I mean, you got to make decisions in your life. Sometimes you got to take a stand.
You got to man up.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely. Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Braves win their series over the Red Sox. Atlanta is 32-15 and has won 13 of its 15 series this year. They've only lost one series. The other one was a split in a 4-game. The Braves enjoy an 8-game lead over Philadelphia in the NL East.
This is part of the next hour also. JJ, but I'll tease it with the question now that I was going to ask you the next hour. How would you feel about Braves-Rays in the World Series? Would you like it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd go to the game.
Is it too regional? Is it too regional?
I would love it. Just me personally, because I could just drive to the games. It'd be sick.
The sports is big enough now that regionality doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. I mean, because everybody watches everything. Matchup.
I do too. I do too. I think it'd be very good.
Yeah, hey, sign me up.
Yeah, Braves in the World Series, I'm down for that.
Yeah, right. Doesn't matter who. Yeah. But I mean, I just think it would be a charming World Series too. I really do.
Let's get it to soccer. Frank and I can confirm that JJ LaSelva was researching and watching soccer this afternoon.
I mean, you guys were watching Arsenal. I know you were locked in.
I was locked in. But JJ, tell us about this week's podcast.
Yes, it's coming out Wednesday this week because we do have important games today and tomorrow. Big news for Man City. Their manager looks like they're leaving. So, Wednesday, check out the 1010XL Soccer Show on
Fantastic.
YouTube.
Love it.
Awesome. We'll get you out with today's musical note. How about 83-year-old Sir Paul McCartney rocking on the season finale of Saturday Night Live this past weekend? By the way, he turns 84 next month, so he's almost 84. The former Beatle has written or co-written a record 32 songs that topped the Billboard chart. This is Band on the Run.
He was really good, and he was good in the monologue, and Will Ferrell was freaking hilarious.
Yes.
I mean, it was a really, really, really good season finale for Saturday Night Live, and headlined by Sir Paul. You're exactly right. Well done, as always.
Thank you.
Hour 2 is next. Stay with us.
Inside these four walls, sent inside forever.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You demanded more of us. You demanded perfection. But we have won every single game we have played till now. So this team is perfect. We stepped out on that field that way tonight. That's how we want to leave it.
1010XL.
Memorial Day, friends, family, great food is what we look forward to all year. But when your septic system decides it wants to be part of the conversation, nobody wants that. Getting a pump out now is a smart move before things get, let's just say, uncomfortable. Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor. They've seen it all, and they get it right the first time. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping. Keep the memories, not the mess. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
If you love the Jags, if you crave the NFL, we make a show for you. It's Jaguars Today with experts and insiders. Locked down by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The 2026 schedule is here, and Jaguars football is officially back at the bank. With limited capacity this season, it's more important than ever to show up loud and create the ultimate home field advantage. From our biggest rivalries to can't-miss matchups, this is a season you won't want to miss. Single game tickets are on sale, and now's the time to lock in your seats for the games that matter most. Inventory is limited, and tickets are expected to go fast. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Hey, it's Greg. So, quick update on my path to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. 2 weeks in, and honestly, it's been outstanding. I'm already down 13 pounds. Had to tighten the belt a notch. Friends and coworkers here at 1010XL are starting to notice. You know, it's funny nowadays when somebody loses weight, everybody just kind of assumes, oh, you're doing the shots. Well, nah, that wasn't for me. I didn't want injections, pills, supplements, or chemicals just to kill my appetite. I needed a real lifestyle change, learning better habits with an actual coach and a real plan. Because here's the thing. I'm busy, I'm always on the road, and it's easy to grab whatever's fast and convenient. But I finally decided to stop making excuses, especially after finding out I'm going to be a grandpa. And that lose 40 by the 4th concept was just the push I needed, and it's working. I'm eating, losing weight, and actually enjoying the process. How often do you hear a guy say that? So do it with me. Call today, and today is the perfect time to start getting healthy with a custom weekly plan. Call 844-346-1800 or at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by 5 Star Bath Solutions. The Florida Gators baseball team closed out the regular season with a sweep of the LSU Tigers, winning Saturday's game 15-11. The SEC tournament begins Wednesday for them as the Gators capture the 5th seed in this year's event. They finished with a 37-18 overall record and went 18-12 in SEC play. It's 86 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. 10-10-10.
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the duckduckrooter.com. We are about to have a real fun coaching rivalry because one coach was pursued by both schools. I'm talking about John Sumrall and Lane Kiffin. Mike Bianchi wrote a terrific column over the weekend, and that Lane Kiffin, everybody's been saying, not everybody, but many have said, did Florida dodge a bullet when Lane Kiffin said, no, I'm not coming, and Florida hired John Sumrall? At the time, it looked like every Florida fan was devastated. Hayes, you've talked many times about how devastated you were. It looked like Florida settled for yet another Group of 5 coach from Louisiana, and here we go again. But in the moments that have happened since then, Sumrall's done all the right things, more electric and enthusiastic and charismatic than any coach that's been at Florida in a while. Meanwhile, Kiffin has continued to say stuff that is just stupid and pissed people off and didn't read the room well. And all of a sudden, it now looks like a real coaching rivalry can emerge. Now, Bianchi made a great point in the column. Once they start playing games, none of that matters. And all that matters is, did you win enough games, and did you win more games than the other guy if you're measuring the rivalry. But we are about to see, because Florida pursued both, and one said no to Florida, forcing Florida to hire the other, and now they're going against each other. Whether they play against each other is not the point. They're going against each other in terms of who hired the best coach. It's going to be a real good battle. We watched Spurrier and Bowden, and, man, that thing was a great battle. That one was probably a draw. At the end of the day, Bowden beat him more than Spurrier beat him, but they both had their moments in that series.
And Spurrier had 52-20 for the title.
Yeah, that's right. But that was a pretty good battle now.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, Urban Meyer came along and was better than Jimbo Fisher at first. And Jimbo Fisher was better than Will Muschamp after that. Then there were no successful coaches along the way until Dan Mullen had one good year. Then Mike Norvell had one good year. But we saw the Florida FSU thing back and forth. Well, now it's Florida LSU, and it's going to be a real interesting battle to see which one of those guys comes out on top. That's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, it's well said, and it's just a shame that the SEC is now transitioned to a schedule rotation.
They don't play each other.
Florida and LSU don't play each other every year. They're not going to play this year. We don't know when they'll be back on the schedule. I know they want to churn through it, so I'm sure it won't be much longer until they play again. But certainly it's a disappointment that they're not going to play in year one against each other, because there's no doubt for John Sumrall, the litmus test is Lane Kiffin. Like, I don't care who else got hired in this cycle.
100%.
It doesn't matter. It's John Sumrall's got to be as good or better than whatever Lane Kiffin becomes at LSU. And I do think there's some volatility to what Kiffin will be at LSU. I mean, like we talked about, to me, there's no in between with Kiffin in Baton Rouge. He's either going to be Saban 2.0 and LSU will start winning title after title after title, or I think he's going to be out of there in 2 years because he's not winning enough. And again, with his antics, they're not going to put up with him very long if he's putting up 8-4s and 9-3s. And so to me, it's the last thing that I think is going to happen is Lane Kiffin coaches there 7 years and never wins a title.
Agreed.
Because I just don't think they'll tolerate him for that long. But yeah, so I mean, it's again, John Sumrall has been perfect for how he has handled it so far. But keep in perspective what it really has been. This would be like watching a pitcher warm up for a game, and they had the best warm up that you've ever seen. And they said all the right things to the trainer and the teammates, and they've got the scouting report on the opponent. They know exactly how they're going to attack each hitter, but they haven't thrown a pitch yet in the game.
Correct.
John Sumrall hasn't made a single call yet as the University of Florida coach in a game. He hasn't made a single decision yet in a game for the Florida Gators. So, yes, I'm very excited. I'm optimistic. But John Sumrall could totally fall apart.
Well,
we have no – I mean, I'm excited. But we got to stop with – I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying, like, this belief that John Sumrall is going to show up in Gainesville and, average 10 wins a year. I hope that happens. But he's done nothing yet that's tangible in terms of can he coach, can he be the right guy for Florida. It looks great right now, and I'm certainly excited. But we have yet to see him do anything in a game for the Gators.
Which is why I think many have, I always use the phrase everybody, that's the wrong phrase, but many have tempered it. I promise you, I said the day he got the job, I'm done predicting. I'm done predicting how good someone's going to be. We have no idea of knowing that. And I do think people have tempered it. I think most people have said, listen, because even Bianchi in the column said, listen, none of this matters once they start playing. And,
right. He goes to the Plains and loses to Auburn in week 3, which could easily happen.
Right. And but back to the comparison, here's the real reality. Neither have been in the big chair. Neither have been the pilot on the left seat, and they haven't. You say, well, wait a minute, Kiffin. No, he hasn't. He's coached at Ole Miss, which would always be able to play with a chip on their shoulder. Always.
Yeah, at Ole Miss, you're driving a bus.
Yeah, you're
not flying a plane.
Correct. And Sumrall was not even driving the bus yet.
Right.
Okay. So neither one of them have been in the. This is now the big chair for both of them. And again, when Nick Saban got the LSU job, he had been at Michigan State. That wasn't the big chair, but it was closer. Okay. By the time he got the Alabama job, he'd won a national title.
Also,
at LSU.
LSU is what it is now because Nick Saban helped.
No question.
It wasn't even close to the program.
It had faded
Nick
greatly
Saban
until that's 100% right. And I
like
agree.
they don't have the expectation that they do now, or they didn't.
100% right. He replaced Curly Hallman, for God's sake, or Jerry Stovall, whoever it was. But that's exactly right. So we look at Kiffin as if LSU got the proven guy in Florida. He has not been in the big chair yet. And again, I think Kiffin's a really good coach. But he's won nothing. He's won now. He hasn't been in position to win a lot, but he hasn't won anything.
And he was in the big chair at USC.
Yeah.
Now, which didn't work out.
Yeah.
Now, I think he was fed a bill of goods
I do too.
by USC's president and AD on the upcoming NCAA sanctions. They basically, told him, "Hey, we think this is going to be a slap on the wrist. It's not going to affect you. So come here." And he gets there, and they get the book thrown at him.
Yeah.
And they have scholarship.
I agree.
But you are still at USC. Like, you would think that you could somewhat navigate rough scholarship limitations when you're coaching the hottest program in college football, which is what they were when Pete Carroll left.
And I want to say one other thing about the Sumrall thing. We have no idea what a good coach he'll be, but I will tell you, I'm going to applaud him for how hard he has worked to connect.
Without a doubt.
Coaches tend to be bigger than life sometimes, whether it's their SIDs tell them they don't need to do this, or their booster tells them, nah, you don't need to do that. You're now in the big chair. John Sumrall has not, since the day he got that job, he's not been too big for anything. I mean, he came to town for the fundraising thing, and he did so many interviews. He's done all. I don't know any of our stations that haven't had him.
Right.
And the podcast, our friend David Waters, who does the Gator Breakdown, who's such a good dude, he's been on his 2 or 3 times. He's been on Allie Peak Wilbur's numerous times. He is really, really trying. He's trying to be a blue-collar guy that is connecting with the people, and he's worked really hard at it. We'll see if he can coach, but he really has. And I'm not in Louisiana, but I don't sense Kiffin's doing that. Okay, and I don't know that. I don't know.
He's in Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Kiffin,
well, that's exactly
exactly.
right.
I think Kiffin's going to be on the cover of Vogue next month.
Yeah. And so we're right. Whereas Sumrall the same day will do JoeBobLovesTheGators.com. And so and that's which is awesome, by the way. Which is awesome.
It's very grassroots. There's no doubt about it.
And I think these podcasts. David Waters does a really good job. Allie does a really good job. These podcasts
have huge followings. High top,
and they work hard at it, and they're good interviewers, and they've earned the right. I asked John about that when he came on here. I said, and they're good podcasts now. They're not some guy in their garage. These are good. They're doing a good job on these podcasts. But I can tell you, I asked John, I said, why do you do those? I think it's awesome that you do. He said, you know what? He said, because sometimes those people don't get the access. They work as hard as anybody. They care as much as anybody. And they don't get the access. Why not give them the access? Why not connect that way? So I really applaud him for what he's doing. And I mean that very sincerely. And I applaud the people of these podcasts that work so hard to get those interviews. So tip of the cap to Dave Waters and others as well. We'll take a break. More in a moment on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's The Ride Home with The Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Duval till we die, all the damn time.
All I want to hear is Duval.
1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnik. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnikBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom who got rear-ended last year. Tom McManus here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial pound law or check out forthepeople.com.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hickens' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The Golf Club at Southampton is super excited for what's next, and that's brand new greens and plenty more to add to your golfing experience. While renovations are underway, you can still come out, hit the practice area, and keep your game sharp. Plus Thursday night's trivia, always fun, and music on Friday nights on the patio. Check it all out at golfsouthampton.com or their Facebook page. Membership opportunity right now where you can take advantage of a great deal before the renovation is complete. Call 287-PLAY and check out the latest from the Golf Club at Southampton. Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast, including Fort Family Field. And the best thing is, I-9 Sports offers sports year-round, so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Fine Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Memorial Day at Best Bet locations at all three of the Best Bet locations brings you $3,000 high hands. You ready for this? Every hour from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay, that's 10 hours worth, folks. $3,000 high hands on Memorial Day at all three of those locations. So head there when you get a chance if you're enjoying your Memorial Day on Monday. Congratulations to two high school baseball teams. St. John's Country Day wins their state title. Congratulations to them. Trinity Christian today, this morning, beats Lakeland Christian 7-2. I told you, whoever won that Trinity Snyder game, that great three-game series, was going to win the state. Trinity's now one game away, so congratulations to Trinity and to St. John's Country Day, two terrific baseball teams. Hey, I got to tell you one thing. So I'm following all the stuff over the weekend. I like country music, the old country music. I was the 90s country with Garth Brooks and Toby Keith and Shania, and I really like that stuff. Sugarland. I don't know much of the new stuff, so I don't keep up. Old guys don't keep up. Apparently, this Morgan Wallen, did you see the turnout in Gainesville for those two concerts?
Yeah, incredible.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And, Tebow came out the first night with him, and did you see Spurrier come out with him the second night?
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. I mean, JJ, are you a country fan? I've asked you this before. You follow? Yes, no.
I'm like you. Like anything new, I don't listen to.
Yeah, and I don't choose
Morgan
not to.
Wallen.
I just don't know. Yeah.
Like all my Ocala people were there. My in-laws were all there. It looked. Our own Lauren Brooks went. She sat.
Yeah, Lauren said it was great.
Like way down there.
Yeah, Lauren said it was great, and a lot of people in my neighborhood, a lot of the kids went. I had no idea. I mean, God bless him. I mean,
2 nights.
Sold
out.
I mean, I in the stadium. Not in I mean, back-to-back stadium concert. I'm trying to think how many times who's done that. Springsteen's done it. U2's done it. Garth Brooks. I don't know if Garth did back-to-back nights. I mean, to sell out a stadium, which I didn't see the attendance, but I'm assuming 70, 80 grand per night, right? And I'll give
pretty amazing.
So God bless him. So he saw him walking out, and again, I don't know any of his music, but I respect people that can build that kind of a career. Hayes, I see him walking out, and that dude's just a regular dude with a mustache and a mullet. I mean, he looked like a guy that most of the day was hanging sheetrock, picked up a couple Budweiser tall boys on the way home, and he sold out 70 or 80,000 seats twice. And again, I know I'm late to the party. Oh, no duh, Frank. Everyone knows Morgan Wallen's all the rage. I get it, but I was astounded by it. So I mean,
I'm sure traffic sucked.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure it was like there was an Ironman race going on there.
Yeah, Lauren said it was great, and other people I know said it was great as well. And one other music thing. The first concert I ever saw, I was 15 years old, and I went to see Chicago. They were all the rage. I mean, they were all the rage. I was Terry Kath, Pete Cetera, Robert Lamb, all of them. I was 15 years old in the Coliseum. It was me and my girlfriend sat in the back seat, and another friend of ours who was my age, she sat in the front seat, and she was dating a senior. So that's the only reason we had a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So the senior drove, and it was in they were in the front seat, and my girlfriend and I were in the back seat, and we went to see the Chicago concert. First concert I ever saw. Right. Tomorrow night at Florida Theater, I'm going to go see Chicago again.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's probably the last time. Robert Lamb, look him up. It's L-A-M-M. Look, he's got to be 80, right?
I would think.
Peter Cetera is no longer in the band. Terry Kath,
Beatles and Stones are
81.
all in their 80s.
Robert Lamb is 81 years old. Okay, so it'll be I got to believe it's the last time I'm ever going to see Chicago. So I'm really excited about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, my first concert when I was 15 years old. I'm now 67 years old, and we're going to go see Chicago tomorrow. I mean, it's really, I'm kind of excited. I mean, I'm really, I'm not excited. I'm not excited like it's a Springsteen or Billy Joel show. I'm not going to misrepresent it, but I think it's tomorrow night at the Florida Theater.
That's very cool.
So, and Robert Lamb's still in the band. He's the only one left.
Really?
Still in the band of the original guys, of the original 7 or 8.
I was going to ask, how many will perform on stage?
Just him. I mean,
like how many will he?
Oh.
It'll be him, and how many?
They'll have horns, a whole horn section. There'll be 10 of them on
That's
stage.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but but Terry Kath died at 33. Peter Cetera left the band earlier. He's still around, but Walter Perizader and Lee Loughnane, and I could name them all. Danny Serafina. I mean, Danny Serafin, all are gone, and so. But it's so tomorrow night I'm going to see a band that I saw for the first time when I was 15 years old. So it's kind of cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. So, final thing before we go to break. Wouldn't it be cool if the UNF baseball team made a run? We said this about JU, and by the way, JU's in that tournament too, so they both have very good teams. But JU seeded 5th. UNF deserves the moment to talk about them for a second. They're the number 1 seed in that graphite division, which means they're automatically in the double elimination. I just pulled up the D1 matchup. The D1 has their
bracketology.
They're the Joey brackets of, and they've got Florida is the 10 seed overall. Against Auburn, Florida's going to have 4 teams in it, including UNF UNF's going to the Auburn one, I think. But I mean, couldn't you imagine? Wouldn't that be great? I think UNF's the 4 seed at Auburn, according to this. But wouldn't it be great if UNF made a little bit of a run? I mean, in baseball you can do it now.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Is there
one
a
sport
chance
you really can?
if they don't win the ASUN tournament, is it a 2-bid league?
I
this
don't
year?
think this year it is.
Okay.
I think you have to. JU's been in twice, but I think you have to have a better overall. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's pretty much a one-bid league. So one other thought about college baseball. So Kevin Schnall, who's the Coastal Carolina coach, okay, like he's a great coach. They won. Then they win a title a few years ago, and he's this great coach. He's he's about to take the South Carolina job, all right? And this note I saw was really good. It said Bobby Bowden, once upon a time, could have taken FSU to the SEC, 1991, 92. Yeah, so. And his reasoning for not is, I'd rather keep playing in the ACC with SEC talent, which is what he did. And he won 2 national titles and 12 league titles and the whole bit. So Coastal, by all accounts, has SEC talent. They've won a national title. They've gone to Omaha a bunch of times. Is he better off not to take the South Carolina job, or is he better off to take it? Now, I'm sure money's in there, but I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's an interesting question. If you got a chance to go to the show, you kind of have to do it, right?
That's always like, to me, that's almost like a fingerprint answer. It's like only one person on earth can answer that, and it's that guy.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, for me, as somebody who doesn't know him, I mean, you take the South Carolina job.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the natural progression.
And he's going to, it looks
of
like.
not just being a coach, but, you know, like any industry you're in. So I would think if he's got a chance to coach in the SEC, I would think you particularly in an NIL era. I mean, at some point, Coastal Carolina is going to need to pay people.
Well, and that might be, and you know what, and that might be what's changed here. That might be now he may not be able to compete at Coastal Carolina the same way he could at South. But it's an interesting story. Guy's a great coach. So, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. So, college baseball is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch as they get in season. The Gators are hot now, so it'll be interesting to see how they do.
And they got healthy, right?
And they're totally healthy. But I mean, they're 18-12 in the league. I mean, there's 10 teams in the SEC in this top 25. So it'll be 10 of them. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
A new chapter on 1010XL, The Lead.
With Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran.
Friday afternoons 4 to 6 on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Harold and Harold. After an accident, everything can feel chaotic and stressful. You're dealing with insurance calls, medical appointments, car repairs, and for most people, it's stressful and unfamiliar territory. That's where Harold and Harold comes in. Their team knows how overwhelming this time can be, and they guide you through every step of the process so you're never left wondering what comes next. If you've been injured and need someone in your corner, call Harold and Harold at 251-1111.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Ready to join the team? The Jaguars and our stadium partners are hosting a job fair Wednesday, May 20th. We're looking for enthusiastic new faces to serve as ushers, ticket takers, concessionaires, security, and more. Stop by the Prime Osborne Convention Center and apply on May 20th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Professional dress, a pen, and a smile are all you need. There are 1,000 spots to be filled for the 2026 season, so join us and be a part of the Jaguars game day team.
Progressive presents Perfectly Bad Excuses for Missing Stuff to Spend More Time on Your Motorcycle.
Hey, Tom. Gonna miss the 5K. Gotta organize my vitamins. A, B, C. There's so many. D.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Hacker here. How many of you remember hearing about 40 by the 4th last year? Thought about making the call to Awaken 180 and then didn't? Then Independence Day rolled around, you hadn't lost a pound, kicking yourself for not pulling the trigger when you heard the ad. I've been there on plenty of other stuff in life, so no judgment. But here's the difference this year. Awaken 180 just launched Reclaim, a 10-week plan with a real start, a real finish line, and one clear goal: 40 pounds by the 4th. Not eventually, 10 weeks mapped out, and then free support for life. You all know my results with Awaken 180. You can have the same. Celebrate Independence Day 40 pounds lighter, cold beer, and a burger in hand, thanking yourself that you made the call to Awaken 180. And you won't be the only one. Hayes has a buddy jumping on board, and our sales guy Greg just told me he is making this his year. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, I think the golden moment today was a long conversation about Urban Meyer, about how he'll be remembered. Will he coach again? Obviously, his 13 games in the NFL were an abject failure. And we talked about the fact that the Jags won the lawsuit I say a lawsuit. The arbitrator ruled in their favor, and good for them. It should have been with cause, and I think we all kind of around here agree. And Urban's not going to get the $30+ million that he might have gotten if he had won the case. But we extended that conversation today about Urban and his career, an amazingly successful college career. It couldn't have been in any other ends of the spectrum of how he did in the pros. And will he coach again? Will he not? So that was a gold moment as we talked about that today. In college football news, Texas Tech has ruled quarterback Brendan Sorsby ineligible and is now immediately filing for reinstatement with the NCAA. I don't mean to be insensitive, but indulge me here, Hayes Carline. Texas Tech intends to. This is a quote from the university. Texas Tech intends to quickly initiate the reinstatement process, period. Texas Tech's primary focus remains supporting Sorby's health and well-being. I wonder if part of the focus is winning games after you paid him $6 million. You think that's part of the focus, too?
I think that's a big part of
Is
the
that another
focus,
part of the
yes.
primary? Maybe it's not the primary focus. Is that in there, you think?
I think that's in there.
Can I please read you his defense?
Yes.
So this is from an affidavit in the court document. So if you don't know, one of, I would say, the most damning thing in all of this is the fact that he bet on a team that he was playing for. So this is when he was a freshman in 2022. He played for IU. Quote, he felt more connected with the team making the bet. I rationalized placing those bets as a way to feel more connected to the team, to root for my friends, to feel like I had a real stake in the game that I otherwise was not involved in.
Wow. Otherwise,
what a defense.
Yeah. You know what? Someone's got to tell these guys, quit talking. Say, you know what?
This is from the lawyer.
Yeah. No, I get it. Oh, the lawyer said.
Oh, yeah. That's in the affidavit to the court.
Yeah. Wow. Someone ought to tell the lawyer to be a better lawyer. I mean, listen, here's your defense. I've got a problem. I'm dealing with an addiction. I'm going to get it cleaned up. That's your answer.
And
right?
it was from 4 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. So, it's funny. The whole Pete Rose thing, forever, his defense was, and by the way, I think Pete should have gone in the Hall of Fame before he died. I was very outspoken about that, like most of us were. But his defense was always that he bet on his team. Well,
win.
He bet on them to win, right? But that doesn't exonerate the fact that it affects you. So, and again, I think Pete should have been in the Hall of Fame. I said that many times, but that's not a very good. Sometimes maybe don't defend it all.
What it seems like what that tells me is that Sorsby is not getting the money from Texas Tech.
Right.
He's being sued by Cincinnati, I think, for money that they feel like that he should have to repay
like
for
the Duke
leaving.
situation.
Correct. So he's probably not put a lot of money into this lawyer.
Right.
And he's hired. Remember when Phil Hartman used to do the lawyer on The Simpsons?
I do.
That was terrible.
Fumbling, bumbling guy.
It sounds like he's probably gone in that direction. If his defense is, I wanted to feel closer to the team.
I thought that was
That's
a joke.
why. Yeah, I mean,
I had to make sure I was a real Twitter account.
What defense did they not use? If this is the one they went with.
Meanwhile, I said this at the top of the program. The Rays have a new. I haven't gotten to this part yet, other than the top. Have a new memorandum of understanding with both the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County that they will build a beautiful new stadium. It'll seat 31,000. It'll have a roof. It'll be similar to the roof that's going to be here in Jacksonville, where you kind of see through it a little. $2.3 billion stadium, Hayes. Of that 2.3, the team is going to pay 1.27 of it, plus cost overruns. The government will put in $976 million, most of which will come from the county, not the city. And the Rays look like they'll be here for a long time. That really is good news. I mean, baseball, it's hard to draw in Florida. We know in the summertime it's hard to draw in Florida. Everybody knows that. I'm still not sure they're going to draw great, but 31,000 is about the right size. It's small. It'll be what JJ. That might be the smallest stadium in the majors.
Probably.
Right?
I don't know what Vegas is like, but
it'll probably be the smallest stadium in the majors. But I do think it's good news that the Rays, who have a very good team, and I think Patrick Zalupski, the Dreamfinders CEO, who obviously is now the team owner, and Ken Babby, who I know very well, the CEO, they'll put more money into it than I think's ever been put into it before. So the Rays, which were kind of a sad story before, people made fun of them. Lord knows I made fun of them because they didn't know if they were coming or going, but they were always really good at baseball. And now this franchise is really good at baseball, much like the Lightning are really good at hockey. That's really good news for baseball to state. I really believe that.
Yeah, it is. And it's an interesting dichotomy there because if you're the new ownership, I would assume you say to your fan base, look, you guys can get invested in these players. When we have great players, we're going to make it a priority to re-sign them, make sure that they're playing for our organization for a really long time. You're not going to have to explain to your kids anymore why your kid's favorite player is now playing for the New York Yankees or the Boston Red Sox or the LA Dodgers because our previous ownership wasn't committed. But they've been so successsul.
Right.
But obviously, while they've been successful, the fans haven't still really fully embraced them. We've seen how poorly they draw. So that's interesting that you think that with this new location, new facility, that you believe it can, because it's going to have to, I mean, they'd have to, they're going to have to double what they have been doing for it to
correct
work.
And I'll say this, Tampa's a good sports town. The Bucks do well, the Lightning sell out. It's not, the problem was they put it in the wrong place. They put it in St. Petersburg, and if you know the Bay Area, and I know it very well, my wife's family's from there, we're there all the time, it is a totally different world, and it's far away, and it's hard to get to. We were just talking about the traffic at the Ironman that everyone was talking about this weekend here in town, JJ.
Oh, that's nothing compared to that bridge.
Correct.
Oh, my God.
And so it's really hard to get to and hard to get back, and there's just not enough people in the Pinellas County area. They're all in Hillsborough, at least the volume and the mass is in Hillsborough. And so it gives it the best possible chance. That doesn't mean it's going to work, but they're giving it the best possible chance. And to your point, it's been a really good franchise. I think it's one of the reasons Patrick probably bought it. Is look, this thing has great cheekbones, man.
A lot of value.
Yeah. Let's just, if we can put the right, and everybody knew it had to go. By the way, I always thought the deal with the Trop was through 27. They now say it's through 28. Did it get extended because it was broken for a year?
Like a hurricane, maybe?
It must, because I had always heard the contract was through the end of 2027.
So since they couldn't use it for a year.
So maybe it got extended. Because I did read today that it was 28 and that they want to play in the new one in April of 29. That's all the talk. So
it's amazing the facility renovations that are happening in this state, because you've got obviously the Jaguars Stadium of the Future will open in the 28 season. You've got now Tampa doing baseball. The Gators want to do the Swamp around the same timeline.
And we're not that far removed from Miami redoing Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, if you think about it, it's been a while now, but it hasn't been that long. So you're right. A lot of that's
Marlins have a new park.
The Marlins.
No one goes, but unless it's the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and that by the way, they have a good park, and it's in the right place. That's the bigger mystery.
They just have a terrible their PR forever
history. Yeah, but I mean that. Have you been there? You've been there, right?
No, I have not. Not to the new park. No.
Okay, it's fantastic.
It looks really cool.
It is a fantastic park. I'll tell you one of the stories I tell way too many times. I'll tell you again one more time. You know me, I tell stories 10 times. I'm there to see the Pirates, and I'm there with Toretta. I'm with my buddy Gino Toretto. He and I just go to see the Pirates, and we sit in left field because there's a bar out there.
Yep.
And there's a plexiglass wall that you sit right against the plexiglass wall in left field. So Toretto and I, nobody's there. It's the Pirates. The Pirates aren't very good. The Marlins aren't very good. Nobody's there. So we get these beers. So we're drinking Coors Light. He's a Coors Light drinker. So I drink a beer. He drinks a beer. And he puts it in front of me. He's a big guy. Spreads out. So he puts one. I put my empty can in front of me. He puts his empty can in front of me, or the bottle, the metal bottle. We have another one. We finish up. I put mine in front of me. He puts his in front of me. So it's not dawning on me. But he's a big guy. He's my host. He needs a lot of room. So I've got these 6 or 7 beer cans in front of me and none in front of him as we're drinking. So finally he goes, Rich Waltz, I don't know if you remember him or not. He was the play-by-play guy for the Marlins at the time.
Okay.
I'm going to text Waltz. Tell him we're down here. And so he texts Rich Waltz. He said, hey, Frank and I are in left field. You want us to bring you a beer? Kind of joking. Waltz texts him back in between innings in the 6th inning or so. He goes, yeah, we just showed you guys.
We've been talking about you on TV.
Because there's no celebrities there.
Yes.
So when the Heisman Trophy winner's there, they talk about it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we just showed his guys. Not 5 minutes later, I get a text from one of my buddies. How many of those you going to drink?
They're all stacked up.
I just realized they're all in front of me.
That's hilarious.
There's nobody else at the game. So that was one of my first times at the field down there in Miami. We'll take a break, say hello to Rick Ballou after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NBA down to the final 4 teams as the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference Finals are getting underway this week. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending NBA champions, now minus 165 to claim their second straight Larry O'Brien trophy. The San Antonio Spurs are at plus 310. Over in the East, the best bet is the New York Knicks. They are plus 550 to win the title. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are coming off a 7-game series with the Detroit Pistons, are plus 2,000 to win the NBA championship. Over in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche, the best bet to win the Stanley Cup at plus 135. Right behind them, the Carolina Hurricanes are plus 160.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, KeysOfProgress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Imagine this. You've got the burgers ready in a backyard full of guests. And, folks, that's a strong lineup. But a clogged drain on a holiday, that can change everything in a hurry. Before kickoff, make sure your plumbing is ready to go. Call Duck Duck Rooter. They've got experience, honest pricing, and a team you can count on. And right now, get your main sewer line cleaned, plus a camera inspection for just $129. Outside cleanout is required because the only thing you want overflowing this weekend is that cooler. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Got a runner, a digger, a backyard escape artist. Lock it down with Superior Fence and Rail and keep those paws safe. Right now, get a free gate when you install 100 feet or more. That's right, a brand new fence and a free gate to match. More freedom for them, more peace of mind for you. Don't wait, this Safe Paws promo won't last. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train, full-time in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year. And the classes are 100% tuition-free. Apply before June 11th and start your new career at NEFBAapprenticeship.org.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder this summer, plus plenty of other sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window
World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, let's say hello to our friend Rick Ballou. Urban Meyer's not getting his money.
I know. Isn't that great? I mean, that awesome. And you just look how long it took to get this thing finally
That's the
put
biggest
together.
surprise,
The way
yeah.
the lawyers draw out everything, and they get paid. Hopefully, Urban had to spend a lot of money for his lawyers, and that's that. A 5-year deal, man. He lasted 13 games. What a complete, absolute, total waste he was.
Yeah, and I will tell you, we had a long talk today about how, because he was such a good college coach and such a disaster as an NFL coach. How will people remember him? How does he's not coaching again, right? He's 61. He's not going to take one of these college jobs, right? He's done, right?
The word jerk comes to mind.
Yeah,
it does. He was a sensational college football coach, and I'm still shocked that it was that bad. Right.
Yeah,
that he was so unprepared because he's really the guy that got everything moving as far as the brand new Miller Electric Center and everything else. I mean, he asked and asked and asked and asked, and Shad Khan kept writing checks. So that's the only good thing Urban Meyer ever did here is that he woke up the people and said, we've got to do what other NFL franchises are doing. But, man, he was a bad coach.
Yeah, no question about it. How was Journey?
Journey was fun. Great show. Saturday night. Had a heck of a good time. And, it's always great seeing a concert in there, and it was a lot of fun. No doubt about it.
What's coming up tonight?
We got a bunch tonight. We're going to relive the PGA Championship, obviously. I got something on the Jags that I think our fans will be interested in. And we're all shocked about the retirement of Alex Bullock. I'll have an essay.
We look forward for the essay. Rick Ballou, essay and more coming up tonight on the program. Folks, that'll do it for our show. We'll be back tomorrow, the same bat time, same bat channel. For Hayes and JJ.